Alright, hey yo, what is up my G's? Welcome back. And as you can see, this video is a little different. It's more of a commentary video. But what I really wanted to talk about in this video is junior year of high school, as quite obviously the name says of the video. Junior year of high school. The hardest year of my high school career, my school career in fact. It was insanely difficult, and it held many surprises and many hardships for me. While there were many things in school, there are many things outside of school that brought difficulty, that brought exhaustion, and that brought stress. And I hope to share them with you as accurately as I can today, along with showing you some clips from my school day, showing you kind of what I did in the last couple weeks of school. I hope you do enjoy this video, as I really would like to share why junior year was the most difficult for me. Now again, I do have to let you guys know, this video is sponsored by buyslugma.com. If you would like, go and get a sweatshirt, go and get a shirt, go and get a hat, I don't care. They're all really comfy, they're all really affordable. Now, let's get on with this. Junior year for me began just as slow as any other school year. The days went by slow, the weeks even slower. But the classes were somewhat easy at first. I think my hardest class was physics, and I fell way behind in physics quite fast. Not because I didn't understand it, but because I was lazy and didn't want to do anything in it. I gave up a lot on doing my work in physics when I would much rather just be on my phone or play games on the computer. I came to regret that come the end of the semester, when I had to make the academic comeback of a lifetime, doing multiple units worth of work just to have a somewhat passing grade. After a few months of the beginning of junior year, I began settling in to my personality and understanding that this year was going to be hard, and I did not underestimate that at all. I should have expected it to be more difficult than I actually did. So I went with very many sleepless nights and a lot of coming home and doing work for 4 or 5 hours after school, just because I was freaking out and I was procrastinating, and I just didn't know what to do when it came to schoolwork. It was very overwhelming for me most of the time. Eventually, second semester, or the second quarter, I should say, ended, and it became Christmas break. I'd gotten a job in November, began working again, and I felt very fulfilled. But with a job comes a few other things, such as working all weekend. Where I live, we do 4 days of school and a 3-day weekend. My 3-day weekends consisted of working all day, and then coming home, going to sleep, and on Sundays doing schoolwork the night before school in case I was behind on anything or anything like that. And I was very exhausted come third quarter, having been working so much. But I kept doing it, and up until 2 weeks ago now, I didn't really have any days off. I was doing school 4 days a week, and weekends the other 3. Hence why there wasn't very many videos. I didn't have the time, the energy, nor the want to make videos because of how tired I was. I couldn't force myself to sit down and edit a video for a few hours when I could be sleeping, when I could be doing my work, when I could be spending time with my family. I just couldn't do that. So, I didn't make very many videos, and I didn't have a whole lot of personal time. I didn't play games almost at all, so I haven't really had anything content-wise to show. I was out of my creativity arc, you could say. I didn't have any creativity left after everything that I had been doing. But with third quarter comes the idea of testing, state testing where I live. And doing state testing is not fun when you aren't sleeping much and you don't want to do anything but rest. So having to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning, drive to school, and then sit in front of a computer for another 4 hours was a little daunting, to say the least. And on top of all of this, I'm in the high school band. It's one of my classes that I take. And our final for high school band is we perform in a concert. Well, to perform in a concert, you need to be able to practice. Whereas I didn't have any time to practice. So I started taking my time away from homework to practice my instrument. And we do 2 concerts a year. One right before Christmas break at the end of second quarter. One at the end of fourth quarter at the very end of the year, maybe a few weeks before the end of the school year. The first concert that I performed in did not go well for me. I had a broken reed on my instrument, and I had a lot of solos being the only clarinet in the band. And it was quite heartbreaking for me. Months of work flushed down the toilet because I didn't have an extra reed because I didn't know it was broken. I got to the point where I kind of wanted to quit everything. I wanted to pretend I was sick and stay home from school multiple days in a row. I wanted to do anything but school. Yet I couldn't do it, and I was just stuck. I was forced to be at school. I was forced to do all of that. And in doing that, you lose your creativity. You lose your will to have fun, essentially. And I was very stressed all the time. I didn't have any time, as I've said multiple times, I didn't have any time to do anything. I had time to do school and work, and that was it. I hardly hung out with friends. I hardly did any of that. But there is a very certain point that I've missed in this school year that kind of ruined my school year almost. Now this point that I speak of, I've mentioned in streams, I've mentioned in stuff like that, but it was a very scary time in my life and I couldn't just make a video on it because it was scary. I ended up crashing my car into a tree. I was scared for my life. I didn't know what to do. I ended up totaling my car, and it was heartbreaking. I lost my way of happiness, if I'm being entirely honest. I couldn't really react to it because I was under enough stress that I had to go on autopilot instead of react. Because if I didn't go on autopilot, I would have combusted. I would have freaked out. And I nearly did. Now I have another car. It's a cheap one, but it gets me from point A to point B, and I'm quite happy with it. I'm very mad that it happened. I'm very glad to be alive, if I'm being honest. Very thankful to have lived. And I'm very thankful to have had help along the way from somebody that I will keep anonymous because I don't know if she would want to be on YouTube, even though I'm not that popular and get 2 views a video, but I still would like to keep her private. Now, what was junior year for me? Junior year was, at first, very fun to think I've only got another year left of school after this. But eventually, it became, if I don't pass this year, I'm going to have to be in school for 2 more years. Now, it was never a possibility that I wouldn't pass junior year, but it was on my mind heavily. To say it wasn't a possibility is actually wrong. There was a massive possibility. Had I not done my physics, had I not done the stuff I needed to do, I probably would not have passed. I spent many nights freaking out about tests that I didn't study for, freaking out about things I didn't understand that I was going to get tested on the next day, freaking out about final projects that I had to do. And it's not healthy. And I can say for anybody in high school now, if you are a freshman or sophomore, take your junior year seriously and take it one step at a time. You don't need to take it all at once, but don't put it off for too long. Make sure you get your work done by the time it's due. Otherwise, you're making life much harder for yourself. And trust me, it is hard. But junior year for me at first was nice, but quickly became hell. Junior year became the hardest year of high school for me because of the stress that I was under, because of the hardships I went through. But I'm very thankful to have lived it, to say that I lived through it, and to say that I have come out a stronger person, and I have come out with so many great people around me, and my significant other. I don't know if you'll watch this, but I thank you so much. You carried me through it. You understood when I couldn't answer my phone, and you understood that I needed some time to myself sometimes. I love you, and if you are watching, fucking text me back. Kidding, of course, kidding. I do thank her, and for the friends that did understand when I was busy, and who understood that I wanted a day to be me where I didn't want to hang out with people. Thank you for understanding. And for anybody who didn't understand, I sincerely hope that you can see my side of this, as I was struggling alone for a lot of this year, doing all my work alone and freaking out. While everybody else was out partying, I was at home freaking out, staring at my computer. Junior year was hell for me. That doesn't mean that it was hell for everybody, but it was hell for me. And it was my own doing. But just because I made it hell for me does not mean that it will be forgotten in my memories. It was a beautiful year, and I am very happy to have lived it. Now I will be graduating very soon, within the next year. I don't know what that holds for me. I'm very scared, but I welcome it with open arms. I welcome senior year with open arms, and I am excited to see what the future holds for me. And I hope that you are too, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just felt that for the people who haven't seen the toughness of junior year, the people who had an easier junior year than most, I think that you, the people who had an easier year, you need to understand that I myself am a pretty smart person. I've gotten straight A's and B's for my past few years, but this year was bad. I couldn't do it this year. I was behind. It was like an early onset case of senioritis. where I procrastinated everything. That's not to say it was for everybody, but for some, this is what junior year is. It's hell. It's not fun. It's not enjoying parties. It's not enjoying everybody else's company. It's sitting at home staring at a computer thinking if you're going to be able to get this in time, thinking, fearing that you're going to fail a class. It's not as simple as, oh, well, you just need to do your work, which it could be that simple. But in high schools, with the people being who they are and nobody really understanding each other, it's not that simple. But with that, I conclude my junior year. I conclude it happily. I conclude it with accomplishments under my belt. To say that I passed physics without taking any of the previous math classes, I'm quite happy. And to be with my significant other now without freaking out about all of the schoolwork I need to do, I'm quite thankful for it. And I'm quite thankful to be able to be making YouTube videos as I did in the past. And I hope to do some daily uploads here soon. Not for a month like I have in the past, though I could try. I just don't think I could. So, thank you, Mudgies, for watching. And I leave this video on a happy note to say I passed junior year, and if I can do it, anybody else that's struggling can do it too. Thank you for watching. But wait, we're not done. Anybody who did stay this long and listen to me talk, thank you. You will be rewarded with another few clips of a school vlog. I hope you enjoy these clips. Wow, bro. Wow. This is why. This is why I'm getting... I wish there was like...
What's that? What do you doesn't know?
It was being filmed currently. It's gonna happen again, bud.
It's been deleted 8 times.
It's gonna happen again, bud.
Aiden, why didn't you play with the Michael's Expresses last week?
My dad just told him.
We got young Sheldon type shit.
God damn it, it's always just me. I know.
First disc. Houston, can you confirm a first helium disc? We confirm that, yeah. Houston, is that going to affect our entry angle at all? I feel this is
You better listen. You better listen.
Both of you do it at the exact same time. W.